What up, what up, what up? How's everybody doing? Good afternoon to everybody. Happy Thursday. Oh man, so humid here in New York City, man. Happy Thursday to everybody. Y'all get up in here, man. Get up in here. We're gonna have a nice conversation today. Y'all know I gotta go onto the Facebook really quick and add the live over there to Facebook. As soon as you get up in here, hit that like button down below. As soon as you enter the video, please hit that like button down below if you like these videos. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is a good time for you guys to go on down, subscribe to the channel. All right, let me just go with the Facebook really quick, y'all. Give me a second. Give me a second, y'all. Just add this to the. All right, let me flip that over there. Boom, boom, boom. Let me share that to the Facebook feed. Hold on a second. Hit that like button, yo. All right. There we go. We are now live on our Facebook page as well. All right. It's Thursday night. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Thursday Night Live. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming up in the live. Y'all come up in here, join the live. Y'all see what's on the screen already. Y'all see what's on the screen right there. Come on in here, y'all. Give y'all a few more minutes to get up in here. Hit that like button down below. Don't forget, if you want to get if you have comments that's coming in, you know, sometimes the comments come in fast and furious. If you want to make sure that your comment gets read, hit down below. Hit that super chat button down below, or hit the super sticker down below if you want to support the channel. If you like to support 16 bars, hit the super chat down below, or hit the super sticker, support the channel. And again, if you want to make sure that your comment does not get passed up, sometimes we get a little crazy with the comments. It's a little bit overwhelming sometimes, but if you don't want to get it missed, just go ahead and hit that down below. All right, so today we're going to be talking about Verzuz and where we think Verzuz is going to go, or where we think Verzuz is going. All right, hit the comments down below. Let me know how you guys feel about Verzuz so far. Are you guys enjoying Verzuz still? Have you guys logged out of Verzuz? Have you guys stopped watching Verzuz? Are you guys waiting for the next Verzuz? Hit the comments down below. Let me know where you guys stand right now with Verzuz. Alright? I'll give you a few more minutes to get up in here. Hit that like button down below, yo. Alright? I see Diamond Onyx is in the building. Ayo, boss. Big ups to your graduate woman. Yes. Graduation day was today. Graduated from college. So thank you for that, Diamond. Appreciate that. I see G Mafia's in the building. Brooklyn's in the building. Brooklyn, stand up. Queens is here. Brooklyn's here. Diamond Onyx is here. So, again, we're going to be talking about Verzuz. Now, as you can see, the picture I have up on top there is the Bounty Killer and Beanie Man Verzuz, which was maybe one of the most important Verzuz to happen. All right, we all remember pandemic was in full effect. Swizz Beatz and Timbaland came up with the idea of creating Verzuz in their homes. He was at his home, Timbaland was at his home, and they had the first Verzuz. They went back and forth, created Verzuz, and from there Verzuz was birthed. And from there, we got a lot of amazing Verzuz came down the pipelines out of that initial Verzuz. Shout out to Timbaland, shout out to Swizz Beatz for creating Verzuz for us. And over the course of Verzuz, we've seen some really good matchups, y'all. Okay? I've seen some really good matchups. I've seen some duds, But for the most point, I would say that Verzuz is a success at this point. So the world's opening back up. Again, Bounty Killer, Beanie Man did their Verzuz in the same building. Verzuz popped off. There were a lot of people that were saying that now that the world is open back up, we don't need Verzuz anymore. I remember 50 Cent, they interviewed 50 Cent, asked him did he want to do a Verzuz, and he declined. There were a few artists that were declining Verzuz early on when Verzuz first really kicked off, right? When the pandemic was in effect, there were some that were not interested in doing Verzuz, and after the pandemic started to dwindle away, it's still here, but once the state started to open back up, there's still a lot of artists that were saying that they don't want to do a Verzuz. But things have changed. Things have changed, yo. Now that artists are demanding money, and some artists are demanding big bucks. There are some artists that's demanding 250,000, 500,000. I've seen some artists. I've seen Mace. I've seen I forgot his name, man. I've seen a few artists ask for upwards of $1 million to do a Verzuz. Yes, $1 million to do a Verzuz. So Verzuz has changed. I remember Choke No Joke going on his platform and deeming Verzuz dead. Verzuz is done. Nobody wants to watch Verzuz anymore. The next time it come on, it's gonna wrong. Verzuz is still here. The question I got for you guys tonight: should Verzuz include new artists? Because if you look at the lineup for Verzuz so far, I don't think that they have cleared 2002 when it comes to artists. I don't think there's any artist that has done a Verzuz that has been past 2002. So I'm asking you guys, should Verzuz start having newer acts? I've seen people talk about The Dream. I've seen people talk about Future. There's a few people I've seen you guys ask about that are kind of newer artists. Hit the comments down below. Let me know how you feel. This is the conversation we're going to have today. Should Verzuz start including new artists, or should Verzuz stick to classic artists, 80s and 90s? Again, from what I've seen, I think 2002 is the cutoff. I don't think any of these artists started their careers after 2002. Should Verzuz stick to old school artists, or should they include newer artists? Well, let's talk about that tonight, yo. I'm gonna hit the chat. Diamond Onyx says the fist to G Mafia. Diamond Onyx says, I feel ya. I press that like button after I leave at times. Never forget, it's free to do. Laughing my butt off. Thank you for that, Diamond. Don't forget, hit that like button down below. Diamond says, I won't mind them digging deeper into an early year in time, 2015 or below. 2015. Woo! That's right here, Diamond. That's 7 years away. So Diamond Onyx is saying she doesn't mind an artist 2015. Okay. JK number 5. JK number 5 is here. JK number 5, thank you for joining the stream as always. JK number 5 says Brandy and Monica rematch. Woo! Woo! You know what? I can't be mad at that, y'all. Brandy and Monica, I can't be mad at that, y'all. JK number 5, I'm not mad at that, JK number 5. JK number 5 says Brandy and Monica rematch, 100. I would like to see that. I enjoyed that Brandy and Monica versus. Thank you for that, JK number 5. Diamond Onyx is also agreeing with JK number 5. Diamond Onyx says Future boss. So Diamond wants to see Future as well. Do you think Verzuz should include newer artists, or should Verzuz keep it as a vintage platform? 80s and 90s artists. Hit the comments down below. JK number 5, 2002 was Ashanti. Okay, there you go. As far as the research that I've done so far, I think 2002 is the cutoff. You know, I seen the Rick Ross versus 2 Chainz. Rick Ross was out before 2002. 2 Chainz was out way before that. Nelly and Ludacris was right around. I think Nelly was around 2000, I believe, and Ludacris was right around the same time, maybe a year later or a year before. So Nelly and Ludacris, I think, are in the same 2002 year range. Big Suge is here. Big Suge, thanks for coming through. Big Suge, don't forget today, Big Suge, we talking about should Verzuz expand to newer artists, or should Verzuz stick to a vintage platform? Diamond Onyx says him and Drake joint, Wait For You, is a diamond hit of sound. Okay, Drake and Young Money is 2000, I think, 8, 11, around there. So the Young Money crew is considered newer. All right. JK number 5 has a comment. JK number 5 says 03 was Beyonce and 50 first solo albums. Bae versus Keys, 50 versus Busta. Oh, whoa. Okay, so Beyonce came out in 03. Okay, not bad from 02, not too far from 02. 2, 3, I'll take that. 50 first solo album was in 03 as well. Okay, G-Unit, we can do some G-Unit stuff. JK number 5 says Beyonce versus Alicia Keys. Now remember, Alicia Keys already did one with that guy that plays the piano. What's his name? John Legend. I think Alicia Keys and John Legend, I think, already did a versus. And JK number 5 also says 50 versus Busta. I think that would be a good matchup as well. Busta's a little more old school. Remember, Busta came out in the late 80s with Leaders of the New School. So Busta has a good 11 years on 50, more than 11 years. So, but I wouldn't mind seeing 50 versus Busta. Diamond Onyx is agreeing with Big Suge, Hell to the Year. G Mafia says, what's good? Diamond Onyx says, however, any dates are fine as long as they're within the same era. I agree with that too. I like to see the artists close to each other. I don't know if I want to see an artist too far from each other. That 50 Cent and Busta has a longer range because Busta was out way before, but I still think the 50 Busta might work. I like that one too. Big Suge said, what's up to Diamond? G Mafia says Ashanti versus Tweet. Remember, Ashanti already went. I want to see brand new artists, y'all. I want to see some new artists up in there. JK number 5 says 2000, both Luda and Nelly. All right, so Luda and Nelly, before that 2000 cutoff. Diamond Onyx says, of course, Drizzy Drake. Diamond Onyx wants to see Young Money and others fit the catalog. But again, some artists will not do any John Legend. Okay, all right. And again, John Legend did do his versus Alicia Keys. All right, so yeah, so today we're talking about should they expand more. Here's where I stand on this, y'all. I remember when Verzuz started. And there were a lot of people that were on the side of Verzuz. There were a lot of people that were with Verzuz. And there were some people that were against Verzuz. Some people thought it wouldn't last. And I remember specifically when 50 Cent made that comment when he said, oh, the world is open back up now. Nobody wants to sit at home and watch a Verzuz. Now that Verzuz is outside, now that Verzuz are doing big venues, now that Verzuz has gone international. Remember, we got a Verzuz with Eve and was Eve and somebody, I forgot who it was. Eve and Trina. Remember, we got a Verzuz with Eve and Trina, and Eve was here in Miami and Trina was out in the UK. So we've even got a Verzuz, international Verzuz. Even though it was a little bit lackluster because of I think the timing, there was a sound delay between them both, but that was a pretty good Verzuz as well. So I remember there were a lot of people that were on both sides talking about Verzuz. So one of the things that's really good about Verzuz, you have to remember, is that Verzuz brings a lot of revenue right during the Verzuz and after the Verzuz. Every artist that does a Verzuz, every single artist that does a Verzuz, the next day, Tidal puts the Verzuz up, the titles up on their page. Alright? Every time there's a Verzuz, the next day I go into Tidal. Let me just show you what it looks like. Alright? Let me show you what it looks like. Alright? So, whatever a Verzuz happens, the next day, the exact next day, Friday morning, most Verzuz are on Thursday, but the next day, Tidal has the Verzuz track list up and ready to go. Spotify does the same thing. I don't know if iTunes does it. I know Spotify does the same thing as well. So the next day after a Verzuz, 100% of these artists, their streams go through the roof. I remember when the Locks and Dipset, no, it was Jadakiss versus Fabulous when they did their Verzuz. The next week, they reported that Jadakiss streams went up over 260%. 260%, his streams went through the roof. So every time an artist does a Verzuz, the next day, those numbers start going through the roof. And if you watch Verzuz, sometimes there's 50,000, 80,000, sometimes there's even 100,000 people watching Verzuz on Instagram. Then there's another 100,000 on the YouTube channel. There's another 100,000 on the Thriller YouTube channel. Then there's another 100,000 on iTunes. Listen, the numbers go up. This is no exaggeration. So, a lot of new artists nowadays, they're sitting pretty good. A lot of these old school artists that you remember that had albums come out in the past and had a career back in the 80s, had a career back in the 90s. Most of them are not as well off as you would think they would be. Some of them still don't own their masters. Some of them still not getting their right royalties. Some of them are still not getting paid how they were supposed to get paid back in those times. And me personally, I would like to see Verzuz stick with the 80s and 90s. I would like to see Verzuz stick with a vintage routine. Yes, somebody else can create something for newer artists to go out and do tours and have something live. But when it comes to the Verzuz brand, I believe that it should stick with classic artists. And there are a number of artists that we haven't seen yet. Alright, so Verzuz is not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm pretty sure Swiss Beats and Timbaland have a list of artists already lined up for the rest of the year and going into next year. So I don't think Verzuz is going anywhere. I don't think we're going to run out of artists to have. We're going to run out of groups to have. It's not going to happen. There are way too many artists up there lining up right now. Remember, everybody wants to get paid for Verzuz now. So let me hear what you guys got to say. Do you think Verzuz should stick with the formula, stick with the vintage artists, 80s and 90s up to 2002, or should they expand and have newer artists in here? I see Blocker Time is in the building. Blocker Time, thanks for coming through. G Mafia has a comment. G Mafia says Ciara versus Keisha Cole. Remember, Keisha Cole already went. Was it Keisha Cole Ashanti? I think it was Keisha Cole Ashanti. But I like Ciara. I would like to see Ciara too. Diamond Onyx says R.I.P. to the dog, Darkman, DMX. R.I.P. DMX. Diamond Onyx says also, it's a bet. We got one from him before his passing. Yes, we did. And that was an amazing Verzuz too. They had some hits. X was throwing out hits. Snoop was throwing out hits. That's another one of my favorite Verzuz as well. Thanks for that, Diamond. I love that Verzuz. Blocker says, JK number 5, I'm only agreeing with what Sean is saying, bro, but I want to see Busta Rhymes versus 50 Cent. I think Busta versus 50 would be good, man. You see, Busta's not going to back down from anybody. I don't think he's going to back down from 50 Cent. Busta has a very long catalog. 50 got a catalog too. I don't think 50 Cent's catalog is as good as Busta Rhymes' catalog. Again, Busta Rhymes has stuff from the leaders of the new school back in the 80s. He has his whole Busta Rhymes. He has the Flip Mode Squad. He has tons of features that he's on. 50 Cent's got features too. 50 Cent got G-Unit as well. So I'm not saying 50's a slouch. I just think that if it does happen, I'm going with Busta Rhymes, man. Alright. G Mafia says, Blocker, I'm doing good. Alright. We're going to move into the next thing we're going to talk about here, y'all. Okay, and let me put something up here really quick. Give me a second, y'all. I don't know if I put it on here. Hold on a second. I gotta get this up here real quick. Give me a second, y'all. Hold on. Don't forget, while you're here right now, hit that like button down below, y'all. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down below. We appreciate you. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, hit the super chat down below. Hit the super sticker down below. Support 16 Bars. We got a bunch of videos coming this weekend. Don't forget to look out for that. Let me just add this picture really quick right here, y'all. Give me a second. I'm almost done. Let me just add this over here. Boom, 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 boom. All right. All right. Here we go. All right, y'all. We're gonna move to the next subject we're gonna talk about today, and this one is a reoccurring topic that we've been having. This is a reoccurring topic that we've been having on our show for the last few years. This is a topic that's been coming up year after year after year after year after year. This is something that it's sad for me to say this, but this is a topic that I think we are going to keep on having. I look at the world today. I see a lot of anger out there. I see a lot of lost things. You look at the people's eyes walking around today. Some of them don't even know where they are. Too many people are, quote unquote, fighting with their demons these days. And too many of us are reaching out to substances to maybe calm those demons. Some people do it just as a getaway. Some people do it as a recreation. Some people do it just to try it out, to see what it's all about. Just how does it feel? But most get addicted. Most people get addicted to certain types of drugs. And I want to go back up to something that Diamond Onyx said. She said earlier. She says she also mentioned even alcohol. And let me find the comment. But Diamond Onyx did mention something about alcohol earlier, also being a drug. Rest in peace to Anna Miller, Percy Miller's daughter, Master P, for some that don't know his real name. She recently passed away from what they're calling substance abuse. And I always try to wait until the news comes out, wait till the autopsy come out, wait till the final word comes out on what was the cause of death. I usually like to wait for that stuff, because sometimes you don't know. Nowadays you don't know. Kevin Samuels just passed away. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. There's speculation out there. Any day now they're going to release the autopsy results. We're going to finally be able to hear what happened to Kevin Samuels. We lost Whitney Houston to a drug overdose. We lost Michael Jackson to a drug overdose. We lost Prince to a drug overdose. Michael K. Williams, the actor from The Wire, recently passed away from drug overdose. DMX, drug overdose. I was having a conversation with one of my friends earlier, and the question came up. Why are there so many successful? Master P has millions and millions and millions of dollars. Why is it that so many successful people, listen, I'm going to tell you this. Most people that live regular normal lives, $40,000 a year, $60,000 a year, $100,000, most people that live normal regular lives, the biggest thing in their life they will tell you is they're looking for financial security. Most people that I know in my circles, in my level of life, if you ask them to change anything in their lives, if I ask them to change anything in their life, the one thing they will say is they want to change their financial status. Why is it that most people that have that financial status are still taking and dying from these drugs? I want to hear that from you tonight. Hit the comment section down below. Why are people that we think are in great situations in their lives hooked on drugs? What are they taking the drugs for, to get away from? Hit the comments down below. I'm going to check some comments. I'm going to hear what y'all saying. Don't forget, as soon as you get in the chat, hit the comments down below. Hit the like button down below. Let me see what y'all saying up in here. I'm going to go with Diamond Onyx. Diamond Onyx says, vaping is a drug, isn't it? Vaping is considered close to what cigarette or cigar, and there is something in the vape that messes with your lungs as well, and also in your body. So yes, vaping should be considered under the drugs as well, because you also have to be of a certain age to buy vaping here in New York City. So I would say yes, it is. So Diamond Onyx says, so perhaps nickel-plated particles in someone's lung isn't fun. Tony Montana got high on his own supply. Don't get high on your own supply. Biggie Smalls told y'all. So about, Diamond also says, so about drug use in hip hop. I was having a conversation, like I said earlier, and we were talking about all the other genres. You're not really seeing overdoses in the other genres. Back when I was younger, in the 80s and 90s, I used to see a lot of overdoses when it came to the rock and roll artists. They were into a lot of drugs back then, and like hip hop wasn't really affected by drugs like that. Yes, there were the drugs in the neighborhood, but you weren't seeing a lot of hip hop artists hooked on drugs or dying from drugs in that era. Now, a lot of hip hop artists are addicted to the codeine, the pills, Molly's, the stuff. It's just out of control now. So, yes, drug use in hip hop. Diamond, you're right on point. JK number 5 has a comment. JK number 5 says, Unsung couldn't play 702 best song, Stilo. Ooh, I love Stilo. I'm sure Verzuz won't play it. Some artists don't own their songs. That is facts. That is facts. There are still a number of artists that do not own the rights to their music, do not own the masters to their music. Okay? And the record label still controls who can play it and when they can play it. Diamond Alex says, JK number 5, very good point. Blocker says, Busta Rhymes has 10 solo albums and 50 got 5 solo albums. I'm going with Busta Rhymes over 50. But remember, Busta Rhymes still has Leaders in the New School stuff as well. And 50 Cent also has stuff with the G-Unit. G-Unit has, I think, 3 albums together. And then he's also featured on Lloyd Banks albums, The Game albums, Young Buck albums, Tony Yayo album. So 50 Cent's got a lot of stuff to choose from too, Blocker. Don't forget that. All right, thanks for that comment, Blocker. G Mafia has a comment. G Mafia says, JK number 5, that's because Chad Elliott, co-writer alongside Missy, wouldn't sign over his copyrights. Ooh, okay, G Mafia, thank you for that piece of information. JK number 5 says 50 outsold those 10 albums combined. That is, and again, I just want to be fair. I'm going to be fair. 50 Cent did go diamond on one of his albums. So, yes, Busta Rhymes probably had 10 albums. But yes, 50 has well outsold Busta Rhymes in his career as well. And it's not all about album sales either. Quality of albums are very important too, JK number 5. But that is a good point. Even though Busta has more albums, 50 at this point has well oversold Busta Rhymes when it comes to albums. And Blocker Time says he does not. I think that is very true. But Blocker, 50 Cent has one album that's over diamond. Busta doesn't have any album close to diamond at this time in his career. Thank you for those comments, JK number 5 and Blocker. G Mafia has a comment. G Mafia says, what sadder artists from the 50s and 60s groups couldn't even perform songs they helped make hits because they don't own the trademark of their group name? You know, sometimes I think about that, G Mafia, because at this point, right, at this point, the record labels have already made so much money off of these artists. At this point, why would you not renegotiate their masters back to them? That's what I think sometimes, G Mafia. And I know it's business. You're here to make money. The record labels want to make money. G Mafia, I get it. I just think at this point, if I'm a record label and I've had an artist since the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, I've already made millions off of that artist. Why would I not renegotiate something with the artist to give them their masters back after all this time? That's a great comment, G Mafia. Thank you for that. G Mafia says, Rick James, Elvis, Ike Turner, Jimi Hendrix, Fred Berry, Frankie Lamont, David Ruffin. Ooh, Names, some big names G Mafia is throwing out there. JK number 5 says, Devotion was the only song I was waiting for on the EWF versus TIB versus. Okay. Let me put another piece up here. Let me hit some more comments. So again, we're talking about drug use in hip hop. I see Nicholas McFarlane is here. Nicholas, thanks for coming through to the live. Nicholas says, my dream versus Busta Rhymes versus Ice Cube. Busta Rhymes' name is coming up a lot tonight, man. All right. Busta Rhymes goes against Ice Cube. I'm going with Busta Rhymes with that one. I like Cube. I think Cube is a dope MC. I think Cube got a dope catalog, but I'll definitely go Busta Rhymes over Ice Cube. Again, we're talking right now about Tatiana Miller, Master P's daughter, recently passed away from substance abuse. Why is it that these artists that have millions and millions of dollars, their family is secure, they don't have to worry about anything? Master P does not have to worry about anything. Master P's children does not have to worry about what kind of car they're going to get soon. They don't have to worry about what college they want to go. They don't have to worry about if they have to work again when they are working. I'm just saying. They don't have to worry about if they're going to have food in their refrigerator. Master P's family does not have anything to worry about. Why are some of these children and these young adults turning to drugs? Hit the comments down below. Let me know how you guys feel about this. Let me know what are your thoughts about this. Tatiana was 29 years old. 29 years old. 29 years old. Drug overdose. Substance abuse. My apology. Substance abuse. I want to hear what you guys got to say about this tonight. Drop a comment in the comment section. Why don't we get help for these people? And as far as I read, they tried their best to get her help. Even on this show, they had the TV show. She spoke of her addictions on the show as well. And from what I'm hearing, they did everything that they could for her to get help, to go to rehab. I believe, as far as what I read, she was unwilling to go to rehab to try to get help. I'm asking you guys tonight, what are we trying to get away from? You know, some people drink alcohol maybe once a week, twice a week, and then there is some that drink alcohol each and every day. There are people that smoke marijuana once a week, twice a week, every day of the week. There are people that's taking all kind of controlled substances each and every day. And here in New York City, I see a lot of people walking around every single day medicated. Every single day, wake and bake. First thing in the morning, they burn one. Midday, burn one. Midday, burn one. In the evening, burn one. In the night, burn one. I see so many people walking around living their daily lives in a medicated state. What is that doing to your body? What is that doing to your brain? How clear is your mind when you're just walking down the street or living your normal lives? Why are you taking so much of this stuff? I mean, this is not like you know, cake or orange juice. Yeah, cake after a while you're gonna gain some weight, but what are we trying to get away from? Hit the comments down below, y'all. I want to hear from y'all. Iman is in the building. Iman, thanks for coming through. Let me see what y'all saying in the comment section here. I'm going to go back up. Block of Time says, rest in paradise, Tatiana Miller. G Mafia says, amen, amen, rule 4. Biggie Smalls told y'all, man, don't get high on your own supply. Diamond Onyx says, Cube would do one. Shout out to Ice Cube. Hope you can do a Verzuz. I'd love to see it. Diamond Onyx says, my fault. I didn't think Cube would do a Verzuz. I think he will. I know he's doing the big three, basketball and stuff. But again, like I said, artists are asking for big money now, Diamond, to do a Verzuz. So if Q can get $1 million to do a Verzuz, I don't know, man. I think he'll take it. Blocker Time says, I'm going with Busta Rhymes over anyone. Of course. JK number 5 says, Busta would have the crowd. Cube 2 lay back for Busta. Whoa, 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 whoa. Cube can get busy on the stage too, JK number 5. I know Cube has a layback style, but when Cube starts to perform, Cube can walk. Don't sleep on Cube, yo. Don't sleep on Cube. Diamond Onyx has a comment. Diamond Onyx says it could be a mental breakdown of some kind. Again, I want to wait until we do get the autopsy results so we can get a clear picture of exactly what it was. So Diamond Onyx could be right. It could be some sort of mental breakdown of some kind. A condition, illness, or a mental state of mind about drug use. People that are, I'm asking you guys, people that are taking these drugs, are we trying to get away from something? What are we trying to get away from? Why are we medicated each and every day? Why are we high each and every day? How are you getting high every day? When are you sober? When do you have a clear mind? Hit the comment section. Diamond says, so unfortunate. Blocker says, wow, she's 29. She's almost 30. Yes, she was very young. Iman says, I have a cigarette problem. So Iman, okay, let me ask Iman this. Iman, thank you for sharing that. If Iman says he has a cigarette problem, I would guess that maybe you're smoking a cigarette each and every day. One cigarette, at least one cigarette each and every day. Here's my question to cigarette smokers. What is it about the cigarette that you have to have it? I hear people say it's the nicotine. I hear some people say it calms your nerves. I said, what is it about the cigarette? What is it about having it that makes you have to have it? And I'm just guessing. If somebody tells me they're a cigarette smoker, I would say they smoke a cigarette, at least one cigarette per day. So what is it about the cigarette that makes you come back to it? Iman, I would love to hear your comment on that. G Mafia has a comment. G Mafia says, I think the game is filled with drugs because everybody has made it. This is a great comment, y'all. This is a great comment. Sometimes I sit there and I think, these people have all the money in the world. They're just doing stuff just to do it. Now that they have all the money, now that they have no more financial issues, now that their bank account is fat, they don't have no issues when it comes to finances. They're just doing anything. This is a great comment. I'm gonna finish reading G Mafia comment. I think the game is filled with drugs because everybody has made it. The game isn't hungry anymore once the 90s passed. Hip-hop had become an economy and investment. I think that is pretty accurate as well too. There used to be a time when hip-hop was about fun and dancing and putting out great music, putting out great content. Yes, artists wanted to get paid, of course, get paid for your work. But there was a time in hip-hop where there was a lot of positive hip-hop coming out. There was a lot of conscious hip-hop coming out. There was a lot of good things being done in the world of hip-hop. I think now it's come so commercialized now that everybody just wants the bag. You go online, each and every Nilly is putting out a song, putting out an album. There's a lot of artists out here that don't have any business being a rapper. You don't have any business being an artist. Your flow, you don't have a flow. You don't have breath control. You can't put words together. Your vocabulary is poor. And you're putting out songs or putting out albums. And then when people tell you your song is trash, you get upset. No, we're telling you your song is trash because you're not committed to it. There has to be good and there has to be bad. And I think today, in today's world, there is way too much bad hip-hop out there. The quality of hip-hop, there's some quality out there. Don't get me wrong. But the level of quality and garbage is way through the roof right now. So, G Mafia, thank you for that comment. I'm going to go down to the bottom, hit them comments. Iman says, cigarettes are terrible. It smells bad. Big Shug has a comment. Big Shug says, when I heard about this, I was shocked. You know, Big Shug, a lot of this stuff don't surprise me anymore. And Big Shug, I don't mean that in a rude way. We live in a world where we have access to everything now. We have access to everybody. The minute something happens today, Big Shug, it's spread right around the world. And unfortunately, we are going through a time in life where people's mental states are very, very shaky. There's a lot of people out here that are very strong mentally. Excuse me. But there are a lot of people out there that are on some sort of drug. Whether it's alcohol, whether it's marijuana, whether it's cannabis, whether it's pills, whether it's like there are a lot of people out there that are abusing drugs. They're not just taking it leisurely. They're not just taking it once a week where your body can recoup and get you back next 6 days. You know, your body has time to cleanse the drug out of your body. No, there are some people that are abusing drugs. Every day these people do these drugs. Look at Lil Wayne. Every time you see Lil Wayne has a double cup in his hand. How many artists have we seen come up in the last 20 years drinking syrup? Every time you see them, they have a double cup in their hand. You see them in their videos, they got the syrup and the Sprite next to them. How many people you see, how many states do you see right now legalizing marijuana? Where do you go right now and don't smell weed in the air? Where? People aren't just smoking once a day, once a week, once a month. The abuse is real. Diamond Onyx says the menthol. And I've heard that many times, Diamond, that the menthol is what causes the smoker to come back to it. But again, I just don't understand that as well. So probably going to go deeper into that. Again, I want to go back to Big Shug. Big Shug said, when I heard about this, I was shocked. Diamond Onyx says, gradually slowing down helps some peeps. Won't quit easy. So yes, if you want to quit, some people always say you have to slowly wean yourself off of it. If you're smoking a pack, try going down to half a pack. When you get down to half a pack, go down to a quarter pack, go down to 3, 2. You got to try to keep going down and down as much as you can. Iman says, I smoke like 5 a day and I only cause I'm bored. wait. So boredom makes you smoke. Wow. So Iman, okay, like Diamond Onyx just said, Diamond Onyx says gradually slow down helps peeps. You won't. So Diamond Onyx is saying gradually slow down. Have you ever, if you say you smoke 5 a day, have you ever tried smoking 3 a day? Have you ever tried going down to 2 a day? Hit the comments. I'll definitely like to hear about that. All right, y'all. We're on the 50-minute mark. Today we're talking about Verzuz. Should Verzuz expand into newer artists? There's a lot of new artists out there, y'all. There's a lot of people that people want to see. There's a lot of artists I've seen people talk about. But don't forget, y'all, soon, July, we got the July first ever Verzuz label matchup. The first ever label matchup is coming up in 2 months, yo. Hit the comments down below. Who do you think is going to be in the label matchup? I want to hear from y'all right now. Who's going to be in the label matchup? Who do y'all think is going to be? I got a few. I think it's going to be. I got a few. First ever label matchup, July, is coming up. Swizz Beatz, Timbaland. Who is it going to be? Death Row? Death Row versus who? Death Row versus who? Hit the comments down below, man. Hit the comments down below. Let me know who y'all think Death Row going to go against. First ever label matchup. It's coming. It's coming. I want to hear from y'all. Who is it going to be? Huh? Rough Riders. Huh? Death Row versus Rough Riders? July. It's coming. Shout out to the boy Jason. I was talking to Jason. Oh, there he go. There he go. They're just talking about him. Yo, I was just talking to Jason the other day about this. Who's going to be in the Verzuz first label matchup? I got to hit Jason comment just a few seconds. Give me a second, Jason. Let me put one more up here. Who's it going to be? This is who Jason said it's going to be right here. This is who Jason says it might be. So Def. Who won it with So Def? Who won it with So Def? Bad Boy? Rough Riders? G-Unit? Who's it going to be, y'all? Hit the comments down below. First ever label matchup. It's coming July. Jason's in the building. Jason got a comment. Jason says, yes, Verzuz should do both, long as they have an extensive catalog. So Jason is on board. Jason is on board with Verzuz having new artists as well. Hit the comments down below, y'all. The conversation today is, should Verzuz expand into newer artists? I'm not with it. I'm not with it, y'all. Keep Verzuz vintage. I don't want to see no new artists up in there. First ever Verzuz label matchup is coming in July. Who is it going to be? Rough Riders. It's The Rock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carolina New Kicks, hottest jigger on the block. I used to wheelie bicycle since I was 6. High school crossover gave away kicks. Music made, I gave away hits. I see Esco's in the building. Escobano says, Rough Rider, Rough Riders. Who's it gonna be, yo? The first label matchup coming in July. Hit the comments. Let me know who you think is gonna be in the Verzuz matchup. This is gonna be crazy, yo. This is gonna be crazy. Imagine a whole crew on stage. When they say, who messing with the tank? Who messing with the tank? Who messing with the No Limit Soldiers? Huh? Who messing with the tank? Who? Dun, 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 dun. Master P is coming for y'all, man. First ever label matchup coming in July. Who's it gonna be? Who? Throw your guesses in the ring right now, y'all. Throw your guesses in the ring right now. I want to hear who y'all think is going to be. Brooklyn! Brooklyn, where you at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn? Bad boy, come out and play. You know you had to do the remix, right? Yeah, who's it? Listen, man, hit the comments down below. Hit the comments down below. Escobano says it's going to be Rough Riders. I don't know. I think Jason told me it might be So Def. I think Jason's rocking with So Def. Hit the comments down below. Let me know who y'all think is going to be. Blocker Time says Holidays. Want Death Row versus Bad Boy. Blocker wants Death Row versus Bad Boy. First ever versus matchup, label matchup is coming. We asking y'all tonight, should Verzuz expand? Should Verzuz expand to newer artists? This is what we asking you guys tonight. Should Verzuz expand into newer artists? I see a lot of people calling out Nicki Minaj. Does Nicki Minaj want to do a Verzuz? Is Nicki ready to take $1 million? Swizz, Timbo, signed a contract, $1 million. If Nicki gets $1 million to do a Verzuz, will Nicki do a Verzuz? Hit the comments. I see Jason got a comment. I'm going to read Jason's comment in a second. Let me know who you want to see do a Verzuz. I got another one from Jason coming up right here. Jason talked about this one too. Jason brought this one up. Jason keeps bringing this up. Jason be getting me mad. Jason keeps bringing up this right here. Mobb Deep in a Verzuz. Do you want to see Mobb Deep in a Verzuz? Hit the comments. Jason says he wants to see Havoc get his flowers. That's what he said. Jason says after the last Verzuz with UGK, this is Jason's words. Ask him. He's in the chat. Ask him. He says after the UGK Verzuz, Havoc needs to get his flowers. That's what Jason said. Hit the comments down below. Do you want to see a Mobb Deep Verzuz? I'm on the fence with this one. I'm on the fence with this one, Jason. I don't want to see nobody doing Prodigy Verzuz, man. I don't want to see it. I don't. Jason, I'm not co-signing this one, Jason. I don't want to see nobody doing Prodigy Verzuz. But Jason wants to see this. Hit the comments. Do y'all want to see Mobb Deep Verzuz? We just had the UGK versus 8-Ball MJG. My man Bun B held it down. Alright, non-stop Pimp C all night long. They were dropping Pimp C joints all night long. Hit the comments down below. Let me know if y'all want to see a Mobb Deep Verzuz. Coming in July, the first label matchup is coming. Are y'all ready? Who else we got? I know y'all want. I know what y'all want to see. I know what y'all want to see. I know what y'all want to see. Do y'all want to see Future in the Verzuz? Oh man, oh man. Should Verzuz expand to new artists? So far, I haven't seen them go past 2002. 2002, I think, was the cutoff. Of all the Verzuz I've watched so far, I haven't seen an artist that came out after 2002. Should Verzuz include newer artists? Does Future want to do an artist? Let me hit some of these comments. I'm going to go back to Escobano. Escobano wants to see Rough Riders. JK number 5 says Bad Boy had 112, Kim and Faith Death Row had. Okay, Bad Boy, all right, 112. Kim is still here. Lil Caesar's still here. All right. Iman says Ty Dollar Sign. Okay. Blocker says, Death Row Records have a longer discography than Bad Boy Records. Whoa! Whoa! I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Blocker. I don't know about that one. Jason has a comment. Jason says, Bad Boy versus Death Row or No Limit versus Cash Money. I'm down with either one. If Bad Boy goes against Death Row, y'all know I'm going East Coast. Y'all know I'm going Bad Boy Records. Bad Boy. I'm going Bad Boy. If No Limit goes against Cash Money, I might have to go No Limit, yo. I like Cash Money too. Like Juvie's my man, Turk, the young Lil Wayne. That's a tough one, man. No Limit versus Cash Money is a tough one, yo. I might have to go No Limit. Because remember, Snoop Dogg, Mr. I'm going No Limit, man. Bump that. Bad Boy versus Death Row, Jason. I'm going Bad Boy. And No Limit versus Cash Money. I'm going with No Limit, man. I'm going with that. Take that. All right. Blocker Time says Rockefeller Records versus Rough Rider. Woo! I'm going. It's The Rock. I'm going Rockefeller over Rough Riders. Shout out to Rough Riders. Shout out to Rough Riders. Cassidy, Dragon is still here. The Locks is still here. Eve is still here. Rough Riders will be a hard out too, y'all. Jason says, congratulations to J Boogie for graduating. Jason, thank you. Thank you for that. I got a college graduate. Thank you. Appreciate that, Jason. Iman says, Mobb Deep versus MOP. No! Whoa, whoa, Iman. Whoa. 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 No disrespect to MOP. I want to say this loud and clear, y'all. I want to say this loud and clear. No disrespect to MOP. Mobb Deep will wipe the floor with them. MOP does not have an infamous album. MOP does not have a murder music. Alright? MOP does not have any classics to mess with. No disrespect to MOP. I'm going with Mobb Deep. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you for that, Iman. Iman has another comment. Iman says, or if Smith & Wesson had a bigger catalog. I don't think Smith & Wesson can challenge Mobb Deep. Maybe MOP. MOP versus Smith & Wesson might be a better matchup. Not Mobb Deep. Excuse me. JK number 5 says, MOP Sparta would kill it. Alright, alright. G Mafia says, both Bad Boy and Death Row put it down multiple platinum albums. Double this album, but Bad Boy got these remixes. Yo, listen, man. I love Death Row Records. Y'all know I love Death Row Records. Y'all know Snoop Doggy Dogg's Doggy Style is one of my all-time favorite West Coast albums. Y'all know Tupac's Machiavelli album is one of my favorite Tupac's albums. The All Eyes on Me is hard as well, too. The Are You Still Down is hard. Listen, I love my Death Row stuff. But Notorious B.I.G., man. That's all I'm going to say, y'all. Notorious B.I.G. Thank you for that, G Mafia. Iman says, nah, I meant the dollar sign, meaning Cash Money. Oh, my bad, Iman. My bad, my bad. My bad. My bad, my bad, Iman. Let me show Iman. Let me give you my way he's talking about here. Hold up, hold up. Hold up, hold up. Where the Cash Money? Where the Cash Money? Cash. Oh, Cash. Oh, yeah. Cash Money Records. That's right, that's right. Alright, alright. Alright, y'all. Alright. I'm asking y'all, man. I'm asking y'all. Label matchup is coming up. The label matchup is coming up. We already in June. Coming up in July. First versus label matchup. Who's it gonna be? Who do you want to see? I know Bad Boy, Rough Riders, So Def. Listen, man. Hit the comments, man. Hit the comments. Let me know who y'all want to see. Iman says the Game and Nipsey would have been a good one. Ooh, man. Rest in peace, Nipsey, yo. Nipsey was coming up, man. I don't think that the Nipsey would have been able to hold court with the Game the game has a serious discography. Nipsey was just really starting out. Alright? And I don't think Nipsey have the hits to mess with the game. But as a West Coast versus, it probably would have did some good numbers. So I'm definitely going Iman with the game if that ever would have happened. But shout out to Nipsey, rest in peace. G Mafia says, out of respect for Biggie's legacy and memory, I don't pin Lil' Kim and Junior Mafia under Bad Boy archive. I know the affiliation and ties are strong, but Junior Mafia and Lil' Kim was Biggie's contribution. I gotta disagree with that, G Mafia, because Lil' Kim is nothing if not for B.I.G. and Puffy. Like, the Bad Boy movement birthed Junior Mafia. Like, that's an extension. Whenever anybody thinks about Bad Boy Records, Junior Mafia pops up and thinks about Bad Boy Records. Anybody talks about Bad Boy Records, even though Lil' Kim was under Queen Bee or Unentertainment, whatever she was under, Lil' Kim was considered a Bad Boy artist. She was running with Biggie. Biggie was running with Bad Boy. Biggie put out Junior Mafia. I gotta disagree with that. Whenever I think about Lil' Kim and Lil' C's and Junior Mafia, yes, I know there's Junior Mafia, but they have that tie to Biggie, and Biggie have that tie to Bad Boy Records. So that's just me, G Mafia. That's just me. JK number 5 says, MOP first 4 albums are crazy. Yes, but does MOP have a classic album? MOP has some solid albums. Do they have a classic? Do they have a Murder Music classic album? Do they have an Infamous classic album? Do they? Hell on Earth. Do they have a Hell on Earth? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. We got first ever labeled Verzuz is coming up, yo. Just in a few weeks. We're going to finish this one out. We're going to finish this one out right here. We're going to throw up the originators while we close out the show. Shout out to Bounty Killer. Shout out to Beanie Man. Verzuz was in-house. Anybody say in-house, I think about Friday. Indo. You smoking Indo. Verzuz was always an in-house performance until Beanie Man and Bounty Killer came along and they took Verzuz onto a stage together for the world to see, and Verzuz was forever changed. So shout out to Beanie Man, shout out to Bounty Killer for changing Verzuz forever. Verzuz is only going to get better, y'all. We're only going to see bigger and better acts. Now that Verzuz is outside, we're going to see more stadiums with Verzuz. We're going to see more artists from all around the country. We're even going to see artists from different parts of the world. I'm pretty sure we're going to start doing some international Verzuz, so look out for that. So shout out to Verzuz, shout out to everything you guys are doing over there. Timberland, Swizz Beatz, keep it going. You guys hit the comment section down below. Let me know who y'all want to see in the July. It's only next month, y'all. It's just 1 month away. Who do you want to see in the first label Verzuz matchup? There's a bunch of labels out there that we would love to see. Who do you think is going to be on there? Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, hit the PayPal link down below. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you're here right now, hit that like button right now. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We got a bunch of videos coming out, y'all. Tomorrow's Freestyle Friday. Saturday, we got some more videos coming too. Y'all look out for that, all right? It's your boy Onslaught Tree. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming through. I'm going to see y'all soon, y'all. Peace. Big Sugar. Compton's Most Wanted versus South Central Cartel. I'm going with Compton's Most Wanted, y'all. JK number 5 says, 1996 Firing Squad is way better than Hell on Earth. Ooh. Okay. Okay, JK. Okay. G Mafia has a comment. G Mafia says, I think they should do it underground female Verzuz. Yo-Yo, Lady of Rage, Nonchalant, Smooth, Queen Pen, LeChat, My Ex, Raw Digger, Storm, Shawana. Ooh. Now, let me just say this. Those are not underground artists, G Mafia. Okay? Lady of Rage is a gold-selling artist. Queen Pin sold records. Maya X sold records. Raw Digger sold records. Shawana sold records. So, yes, okay. Underground female versus... Okay, so I can see that. That's some nice names there, though. I definitely would like to see Raw Digger, Maya X. I would like to see Lady of Rage. I would love to see Lady of Rage. Yo-Yo, I don't know if she has enough hits, but that's a good concept as well, G Mafia. Thanks for that. I'm going to hit 2 more comments before we get up out of here. Jason says, plus, remember, Havoc is a producer. He did Why by Jada Kiss. Last Days with Biggie and the Lox. Can I Live to My Last Day? What's my song here? Shoot 'Em Up by Nas. Ain't No Click by Lloyd Banks. And It's Too Much for MOP to Handle. Listen, people love MOP. We love their energy. They had some good albums. I want to say this again. No disrespect to MOP. But the catalog that Mobb Deep has, like Jason just said, it's serious, yo. Mobb Deep has a serious catalog, yo. Thanks for that, Jason. We hit the final comment from G Mafia. G Mafia said, but Puff don't want Junior Mafia. Biggie started his own label in 1995, Big Beat on Entertainment, Atlantic Records. Songs like Players Anthem, Get Money, No Time, Crush on You, Getting Money was Biggie production. I understand. All great points. All great points. I just think that whenever I hear Lil' Kim's name, I think Bad Boy. But those are great points, G Mafia. Great points. And those are some hits too. Those are some big hits. Alright, y'all. Thanks for coming through. We're over the hour mark, man. I'm going to see y'all next Thursday. Don't forget, peep all the videos we coming over the weekend, man. We got some stuff coming for you.